It's the Tristan Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Tristan Law, semi-retired pro wrestler. Today, I'm your host. And you know what? I am not alone today. I have my very good friend Cheyenne Ortiz, the voice of independent pro wrestling here in New Jersey. He's joining me today, and we are going to be talking about Goldberg. Goldberg finally had the match of his life, and then you know what the guy did? The guy found a reason to complain. Cheyenne, thank you for joining me. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good. I can see which side of the tracks I'm on early. How are you?
Okay, well, I'm doing good. What side of the tracks are you on?
Well, I think there is a degree of which Goldberg has a right to complain.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay, before we even start, why does he have a right to complain?
Well, it's such a tough hill to die on because I'm not here to discuss with you the validity, if you will, of Seth Rollins' injury, but after that mishap transpired, from a production standpoint, the show was snake bit. After Seth got out of the ring after the rapid pin, they quickly cut to the fact that coming up next, the main event, Goldberg and Gunther, and they had substantial time left on the broadcast, which means, hey guys, take as much time as you want in your match, or hey Bill, say whatever you want out there for your speech because we just had a situation and we're gonna have a lot of time. The very first red flag of the broadcast for the Goldberg segment was that they cut to commercial at the end of Goldberg's entrance. Here's why. Goldberg was in the ring. They had the 4K camera loaded up for the big match introductions, and they went to break after that. That was a red flag. Another red flag was at a lull of the match, they went to yet another commercial. So I get where Goldberg is coming from because time-wise it was there. Not to mention the fact that his speech was cut off.
Look, bro. Okay. Let's say that it was cut short because of the match that he had with because of the Seth Rollins injury. Let's just say it was cut short because of that. Okay. Goldberg went an extra 5 extra minutes. So then maybe they should have told him to bring it home a little bit early, knowing that he wanted to do the speech. It's not a secret that he wanted to that he would have wanted to do the speech or not. I think the whole entire issue is that it's regular TV. It wasn't pay-per-view. It wasn't a PLE. You know what it was? It was regular TV. And you know what? They've got something much more important to talk about that's not Bill Goldberg at 11 o'clock.
I get that argument on the foundation, but bear in mind that if they really, with NBC, it's tougher than USA or any other network. If they needed an overrun, they could have requested it, if nothing else. And also bear in mind the fact that it's his retirement match. If that's the case, Bill could have said, well, could we do it at a PLE? But the enchantment of performing in Atlanta, where, he cut his teeth, where he's born and raised, and having that last match in a city that means so much to him in wrestling, it's hard to turn down as opposed to a PLE in some, random city.
Look, let me see if I can get this video up for you real quick.
Plus, you got to keep in mind the fact that when the match ended, they went right to this 8-minute commercial break, whether you're watching on Peacock or NBC.
Oh, it was 8 minutes? I didn't know that because I didn't watch live. All right, so maybe I'll give him a little bit of defense.
Okay, so to give you a little bit of fair ground, the match happens. The bell rings. Say what you will about the match, right? I will say this. The match itself, because it had awkward commercial breaks, the match itself was probably better than expected, but we didn't see it in its entirety, first of all.
Okay.
The bell rings, and it might have been 10:52, 10:53. Goldberg's sitting up in the middle of the ring, selling the choke, and they go to commercial. This happens on Peacock and on NBC. Peacock, it was even worse because they kept doing that graphic of, we'll be right back. No commercials, no actual commercials for like a minute and a half. So I'm watching the house. I'm freaking out, thinking I'm missing the whole thing.
Right.
10:58 comes along. I go to NBC, commercials, real commercials. 10:59 and 30 seconds, it flashes back to the show. Goldberg's in the ring with Michael Cole doing a speech I don't know about, and it cuts off. So again, the production of the show really hindered Goldberg's final moments.
So do you think the 28-second mic cutoff was disrespectful, or was it just like reality?
A little bit of both, because if they wanted to incorporate a speech as well on that broadcast, that should have been more planned out. Having said that, and we talked about this last weekend, I believe it was, the speech has not aired on any WWE platforms.
Maybe because he's bitching. Maybe Triple H woke up and said, "You know what? We're going to do this guy a favor."
Now,
and
Mr. Law, let's bear in mind that Mr. Goldberg did not make any harsh comments until about 2 days after the fact.
All right, maybe you're right. Maybe they had so much going on that they didn't want to overshadow that it was going to come out. But maybe Triple H woke up and said, and heard the news and said, "You know what? Fuck that guy."
I don't believe Mr. Levesque says fuck that guy.
Yo, come on. Those are the three most powerful words in pro wrestling. Fuck that guy. Because
I don't agree.
Being a person that's, worked on radio, and I've done broadcast, and I've done everything else like that. I know that you owe commercials. So what happens is, like, let's say, like,
where you make money.
Right, it's where you make money. So let's say the way it works is that people buy the time. Right? They say, "Hey, Cheyenne, right. You want to put, your YouTube channel on a commercial? Cool. So we're going to air your commercial 3 times doing the show." And they say, "Tristan, we're going to play your commercial. We're going to play it 3 times doing the show." Whatever. So now what happens is, now you don't pay. The person that buying the ad, you don't pay at first. The way it works is that it plays, and then you get the checks, the bills submitted, like, "Hey, now you got to pay us." So right. Now they could be short commercials. When I worked at the radio station, I had a log, and I had to log, all right, this commercial played at this time. This commercial played at that time. So when the person says, "Hey, I want proof that my commercial played," all right, well, it played at this time and it played at that time. So maybe they owed commercials, and because of the whole Seth Rollins things, they didn't do it. Maybe that long 8-minute commercial was them just making up for the commercial break that they missed.
Okay. Predominantly on cable, because like I said, on Peacock, we got nothing for at least 3 minutes.
Okay. Look, I don't think it was disrespectful. I don't think that anybody has a grudge against Goldberg for them to bring him back after he retired.
No, I don't think it was an inside job in that regard. Like, oh, let's bring Goldberg back to embarrass him. I don't believe that. No.
I think that what's going on, Universal's in the chat. I don't think they hate Goldberg. I don't
Good
think
morning,
they want
Universal. I'm here too.
They right? Could Cheyenne get some love as well too? The voice, Cheyenne Ortiz. They brought Goldberg back after he already retired. They brought Goldberg back after he already retired and let him wrestle one of the top guys in WWE in the main event in his hometown. They brought Goldberg back. They paid him. They let him wrestle in front of his whole entire hometown, in front of 90 plus people
from around. He brought in 150 people from around the world,
including his fucking accountant. Who cares? Who cares? You got an opportunity. You know what? Shit happens. I mean, and then Goldberg said, Goldberg, you were in NBC. You were in Saturday Night's Main Event. You had a 3-week buildup. You had to put your body together like Lego pieces in order for it to work. And you complain the whole entire time. It's like, how can you make a guy like that happy? Goldberg, you know what? I got a hot take for you. Bill Goldberg is the kind of guy that you would give $1 million. Just give him $1 million. And he's the kind of guy that complains that he didn't get a bag with it.
Wait, you're saying that I don't think that's true, sir. I don't think that's how that goes.
You don't think that he would complain that he got $1 million and he didn't get a bag to go with it? The guy got the opportunity to wrestle Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yes.
The main event with minimal buildup.
Uh-huh.
In the main event event against Gunther for the championship in Atlanta, ATL, peace up, A-Town down. And he got paid for it. They didn't pay him no chump change. He got paid for it. What are you complaining about? What else more do you want?
The rightful way to end your career.
You know what? No. He got 2 opportunities to end his career. See, you make me feel like I want to crash out, Cheyenne. He had 2 opportunities to end his career. You know who had an opportunity, who did not have the opportunity to end their career the way that they wanted to?
Who was that?
Bret Hart. You know why Bret Hart didn't get the opportunity to end his career the way he wanted to?
No, Tristan, I don't actually.
Oh, because big baby Bill Goldberg. That's why.
Now, Tristan, Bret Hart was able to end his career against Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 26.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Because you know what? I paid all my money to Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon Dudley, Nunzio. I rode in cars for miles with people that have been at the high level in WWE, people in the indies, just so that I can go and end my professional wrestling career against Vince fucking McMahon. What an accolade.
And win by a landslide.
That doesn't make it any better, Cheyenne.
And have my entire family a part of the match.
And your accountant. Don't forget his accountant came as well, too. Maybe she could help him. Maybe she could help him figure out where to put the $1 million that he got and didn't get a bag to put it in.
What is this obsession with you and reusable bags?
Well, we're from New York. We don't have bags at the supermarket. We're supposed to use reusable bags. Come on, Cheyenne. Help the environment. Help the environment.
I don't know.
The guy wanted a WrestleMania moment. Then why? Look, let me tell you something. One of the things that I learned a long time ago, when I walked into the Team 3D Academy in Kissimmee, Florida, to get trained by one of the greatest tag teams of all time, Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon Dudley, I got taught, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. You get what you negotiate. If you wanted WrestleMania, he should have negotiated WrestleMania. But he knew from January that this is going to be, he knew from October, November that this was probably going to be the deal. In January, it was going to be the whole entire, it was official. Yeah. And now, when it happened, he wasn't happy with it. He wasn't happy with it. I don't think that's fair to Gunther. You know what else I don't think is fair to Gunther? That he goes on Ariel Helwani. Ariel Helwani, first off, I want to say he's a great interviewer, and I'm going to put the video in the description for you guys to all watch.
He's excellent.
He's excellent. The way that he asks a question, and when he gets denied, the way he walks back and comes back to it and presents it a different way, he just chips off the old block, right? He went on Ariel Helwani, and he complained about the whole entire thing. You get what you negotiate. You don't ever get what you deserve. If you wanted something different, you should have asked for something different. I don't think it's fair to Gunther. I don't think it's fair to the main event. I don't think it's fair that you went on Ariel Helwani's show, Goldberg, and said that, the chops at first, like it didn't hurt. What? What is Gunther known for, Cheyenne?
That would be chops.
So now you're going to go on TV. Well, not TV. Well, we could say TV because YouTube is watching on a lot of TV. Gunther's known for his chops. So now Goldberg goes on to the worldwide internet, to everybody, and says, oh, well, it didn't hurt at first. What? This is what you get, Cheyenne, when you get a guy who entered the WCW power plant and they give him a 175 and 1 win streak. They let him beat Hulk Hogan one time in 1998, and he thinks he's the greatest of all time.
No, but Goldberg is in fact one of the best of all time.
No, come on. You just like to rile me up. No. I don't have blood pressure problems, but I feel like you're trying to give me blood pressure problems.
Of his era, Goldberg is an all-time great.
No. I think that Goldberg is one of the biggest Stone Cold Steve Austin imitators. I think that Goldberg was right for WCW at the time But outside of WCW, what has he done? He's not a WWE creation.
He's the man that put down Triple H's 9-month World Heavyweight title reign.
And he beat Hulk Hogan.
He's the man that sent The Rock to Hollywood full time.
I feel like you're trying to get underneath my skin today.
He's the man that defeated Brock Lesnar in less than 5 minutes.
So here's what Universal said. Universal says all production cues were missed. They were scrambling with production on what to do. I can imagine that because now they're calling it on the fly. He says that, or she, I don't know if it's a he or she, but I like to keep the mystique between Universal because remember, we don't know if Universal works for WWE, so we're just going to go with it. Universal says they planned the last 10 minutes of the show for Goldberg's speech. They gave the guy 10 minutes for his speech?
No, that's beautiful.
That's not beautiful because that would have been that's longer than his average match. What could he talk about in 10 minutes?
What is the obsession you have with his stamina?
He don't got good stamina. He don't wrestle long. He did 15. No, okay, let me give him some. Okay, I'm going to give him some credit. He did 14 minutes and change, but since we're rounding up, Goldberg did 15 minutes. Good for him.
Uh-huh.
Good for him. You did 15 minutes in your match, and you wanted a 10-minute post-match announcement, post-match speech to say what? I want to thank my son Gage. I want to thank my wife. I want to thank my accountant.
But what? How long did you want Goldberg to wrestle in an era of which the 60-minute time limit is no more?
Look, I think that the match was perfect at the length that it was. I think that Idol can't fathom what he would have talked about. You know what's funny? Anything Goldberg would have talked about, he talked about it at his 2018 WWE Hall of Fame induction. What else is there for him to talk about?
Real quick, just to bring it up to speed for you, his match against Triple H in 2003. I don't think they have the event correct here, but it says here that that's a 19-minute match. That's off of ChatGPT. Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 33, 4 minutes. Oh, Backlash against The Rock, 13 minutes. Against Kevin Nash at Starrcade, 11 minutes. Goldberg and DDP, a classic. Halloween Havoc, 10.5 minutes. Against Scott Hall in a ladder match, 14 minutes. So I really don't know what it is you're looking for here.
It probably took Goldberg 13 minutes to climb the ladder.
It's a ladder match. There's back and forth. There's a little bit of storytelling involved.
I really think you're trying to annoy me today, Cheyenne.
No, I'm just trying to figure out what it is that you're looking for out of him time-wise.
What I'm looking for him to do is to take the... Okay, let me say this. One of the most embarrassing things to me, personally, is to lose control of your emotions. And I'm trying not to lose control of my emotions.
I've noticed.
But Goldberg, what he should have did was he should have took a couple days. He shouldn't have came out there in the beginning and said, you know what, this is what I have to say, and this is how I feel. Because you know what, he should have took the time, his hand is all swollen. He ate a pizza for the first time and his body rejected it. Take a couple days. You worked hard, Goldberg. You had to put your body together like Lego pieces just for that match to happen. The part that makes me go crazy though, right? Is that about his son Gage. His son Gage got an opportunity to get an NIL contract. You familiar with the NIL contract?
Fine young man. What a fine young man.
Yeah, he's good kid. I think he might have a future somewhere in athletic competition.
I believe so.
He got the opportunity for an NIL contract. The NIL contract is where they are scouting college athletes on the collegiate level to come to the performance center and possibly train to be wrestlers.
And here's this pedigree kid coming along.
They got Mark Henry's son in there.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of other athletes in there. If Bianca Belair was still in college, she'd be in there now because she came in there after college and stuff like that. Goldberg told his son don't do it because he didn't like the amount of money they were paying him.
Let's take it now to Universal. Universal is saying they had planned the last 10 minutes of the show for Goldberg's speech. Universal also says that Tony Khan discussed bringing in Goldberg for his retirement match, and Bill said no. Bill chose the WWE, therefore Bill cannot cry now. Universal also confirms that Bill Goldberg said he broke his hand in the match when he did the chops to Gunther. Goldberg is not the best of all time. He is on no one's Mount Rushmore. Anyone else want to comment in the chat like Universal is? The opportunity is there. I think of a certain era, Goldberg, sure. I mean, many regard him as a huge part of the WCW fabric. Would you agree with that, Mr. Tristan Law?
100%. 100%. He made WCW feel special at the time. It was like, oh my God.
Now,
I wanted to go
in my opinion, he also contributed, albeit minor, to the Ruthless Aggression era.
How? Doing what?
Well, Goldberg's return from exile from WCW to then join the WWE in 2003 was monumentous. We did not see that coming.
And it was nice for the time. You know, it's like when you go to a restaurant and you're not you order a lot of food because you know your eyes are bigger than your stomach. And you sit there, you go, it was just all right. It was fun in the moment. Right? Because when Goldberg came in, Goldberg still wasn't all that miraculous when he was there. I think that Goldberg got the opportunity to come in and to pretend fighting with other people. He got a pretend streak, and he got real money for it. You got the opportunity. You injured probably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, ended his career. You got the opportunity to retire one time, come back, and do it again. And then you complain. Again, but you put Gunther over, even though you buried him a little bit, you put Gunther over. I think if he never said anything about the chops, you know, about they're not hurting and stuff like that, you can go up and it's like, oh, wow, it makes Goldberg look really badass in the whole entire thing. But no, he wanted to say, nah, it didn't hurt at first. In the 28 seconds, Cheyenne, that he got, you know what he said?
What was that?
He said they wouldn't do it to Taker. They wouldn't do it to John Cena. John Cena's running around right now doing his retirement tour. Listen, Goldberg, William, if I can call you William, you're not John Cena. Definitely not John Cena. You are not the Undertaker. You should have left the first time. If you had left the first time and never said anything, it probably would have been all right. But you came back, you got a second opportunity at life. And it's not like he went in there, Cheyenne, and did it for free. They paid the man. They paid him. What, they didn't direct deposit into the wrong account? That's on him. You get what you negotiate, not what you deserve. Goldberg says, though, he doesn't really want to talk about everything, right? He's going to want to wait 2 weeks. We got about 1 week left until he can say what he wants to say. You know what I think is going to happen in 2 weeks?
What's that, sir?
I think, like Universal was saying, I think if Tony Khan has a brain, which I think that he does, Tony Khan can be the person that gives Bill Goldberg his $1 million and the bag to go in it. Tony Khan can say, hey, you know what? I don't like the way how WWE handled your retirement. You see how he handles Sting's retirement? They didn't handle Sting's retirement properly, and we did it right for him here. So what we want to do is we want to give you the opportunity to come in and just book it any way that you want. I see somebody wanted to pay for that.
Now let's get into the low-hanging fruit. Who would you suggest in AEW as a good opponent for Bill Goldberg?
All right, fine. I just started watching AEW. I made my promise. Like a big boy, I peed all by myself. I watched AEW Dynamite on Thursday. I downloaded the TNA app because I want to watch Slammiversary. I feel that just put him in the main event picture. Goldberg's not going to, if he's going to be able to write his own story, nobody's going to come in and say, let me go ahead and wrestle the mid-card. Goldberg's going to want to go in there and put himself over. He can't go against a guy like MJF. MJF is going to eat him alive on the mic.
Oh, for sure.
Eat him alive and bury him. You think he's mad? You think he's mad now? The second MJF opens up his mouth, Goldberg's going to be like, you know what, damn, I should have stayed home. So if you're going to put him against somebody, he's probably going to say somebody that's older, Maybe Edge. Oh, sorry. Cope. Gotta call him Cope. That's what they call him, Cope. Maybe Christian. Maybe Bobby Lashley. I think they had a decent match.
They had a great match over there in Saudi, yeah.
Yeah, I think they had a decent match in Saudi. Maybe that too. I don't think it's going to be somebody young because I don't think Goldberg is in the business of putting younger talent over. I think that Goldberg should take a page out of John Cena's book. It's all about leaving the pro wrestling business better than you found it. That's what we're taught, day one. So what he should have did was know his role and shut his damn mouth and laugh all the way to the bank. Because either way...
Do you feel as if Goldberg or no wrestler is entitled to write the last chapters of his story?
Yes and no. You only get what you negotiate. If you want to do it right, you negotiate. Hook. You remember Hulk Hogan says, "That gonna work for me, brother," right? He negotiated that.
Sure.
He negotiated that. He negotiated the creative clause in his contract. Goldberg should have negotiated that. And if you know what, maybe it wasn't the right time if you couldn't get that pushback from the table.
I see.
This was the best match of his career, Cheyenne. The best match of his career. This is Goldberg's best match in the last 2 years.
Wow.
It's his only match in the last 2 years, but that's why it's his best match.
I disagree with that statement, but that's fine.
So give me one better Goldberg match that you could think of in the top of your head.
I tell you, Goldberg and Diamond Dallas Page. It's a classic.
I feel bad for DDP. The guy had to go do DDP yoga because he broke his back carrying Bill Goldberg.
This unmitigated disdain that you have for Bill Goldberg, I'm not really conjugating its ethos quite well.
I'll give you the ethos. He had the opportunity to just walk away. Just walk away. I can't get mad, right? Look at it like this, right? I can't get mad. Two guys are coming up to each other and they're talking junk to each other, right? And the one guy punches the guy in the face to defend himself and walks away. You have the opportunity to walk away. You are the winner. You got to end it the way that you wanted. But you come back to talk a little bit more shit because you start feeling yourself. You start smelling yourself. And you get knocked out. Yo, bro, I can't feel bad for you. You had your opportunity to leave. You should have just left. Goldberg had his opportunity to leave. He should have just left. Looking at Goldberg now, Cheyenne, what do you think he's going to be remembered for? His streak or his substance? Or the way he went out just now?
You know, I think you did bring up a great point, a great word. I definitely think he's going to be remembered for the streak and the substance. What pains me to say is that this, from the build to the match itself, not many are going to remember or hang their hat on these final moments from a retirement standpoint. The streak and the substance ultimately is always going to be what Goldberg's known for. Even when he came back in, 2015 or 16, whatever that was, to do the feud with Brock, even then, that's what everybody remembered him for WCW, that piece of iconography and the streak. So I think the substance would definitely be second, but I don't think we're going to be talking about the impact of his match with Gunther even a year from now.
So Universal, speaking of the streak and substance and stuff like that, Universal had a really good point. I guess Universal watched it live. The way I watched it, it wasn't live, so I got a different aspect of it. I'm going to give you the aspect that Universal gave, and then I'm going to give you the way I saw it. Universal says when they came back from the long commercial break, Bill was sitting on the mat, headlock, and doing the entire match. Oh, it moved. And doing the entire match, he was sitting on the mat in a headlock. I didn't see that. I didn't see that he was sitting in a rest hold the entire time. That's called, for you guys that are not pro wrestlers, that's called a rest hold. We can just work that headlock. Universal says, so there was actually technically 6 minutes of actual wrestling. And I agree.
That I can believe.
I agree, right. I don't think Goldberg could go that long. So what they did was they put a lot of what we would call, some people would call, there's a lot of gaga in the match.
Yeah, I definitely think that Goldberg took that rest break as much as he could. Sure,
Yeah,
I'll go with that.
The guy got a bad knee. The guy got a bad shoulder. One of the things that you do when you're working with a guy, you know, especially somebody like Goldberg, you know, Goldberg would tell you, "Hey, look, brother, my neck's bad, my knee's bad." So what you do is you are able to structure the match so that you work around his ailments. All right, you know what? Goldberg might not be able to done all the stuff and stuff like that. So you know what? You incorporate his son. You take the knee brace, you walk around with the knee brace, you hit him a couple times with the knee brace, you know, and stuff like that. You chop him, you can get a little bit of mileage out of the chop. You chop him, you let him sell around and stuff like that. Like, yeah, stuff like that will work. So I don't dispute the fact that if you actually put a stopwatch to the match, that is actually 6 minutes. Universal says that Bill was gassed and barely able to finish the match. He messed up the spot with the spear, and Gunther had to carry him the last 5 minutes. Kudos to Gunther. They don't call him the ring general because they ran out of names.
What I'm saying is that aside from the booking, aside from what have you, Gunther was in fact the superstar of the match. I definitely agree with the fact that there was no better pick. There was no better bad guy. Whether he would have been world champion or not, Gunther was the best guy to pick. I still say Chad Gable would have been the only second option, but Gunther was the number one guy to go with. And yes, he was the star of this match. And I've been saying it, you know, he's the best guy in the company for a while now.
If you're a Triple H, would you bring back Goldberg again if you want to come back, or like for a one-off or something like that? If Saudi Arabia paid money for him,
that's tough, right? Because that retirement is so fresh. So you have to make it. You have to make it a point of which, Goldberg's got no choice but to defend his honor, defend his son's honor. It's got to be an extremely personal issue for Goldberg to break his retirement. Look, we've learned wrestling retirements are not finite, right? So it's very possible that he comes back 1 year, 3 years from now, whatever. It would likely be a Saudi Arabia setting, right? From a money standpoint, especially if you're Goldberg. But I don't want to sit here and say yes or no, and I'm actually going to go with no. I think your earlier idea, if Goldberg does come back, it would be an AEW situation.
I think if he does come back, the only place he should come back is AEW. Why? Because if Tony Khan, what I teach people about the whole negotiation aspect is that when they come knocking at your door, they're at your mercy.
Right.
So if Tony Khan called him on maybe Wednesday morning, or maybe Tony Khan said, you know what, I don't know what's going on in the 2 weeks. Maybe he has a 2-week no compete. Maybe that's what it is, a 2-week no compete. Maybe after
I doubt it's a 2-week no compete. I doubt it.
I don't know what Goldberg meant when he said 2 weeks.
I get why you say that, but I don't think that's it.
So what do you think the 2 weeks is?
Maybe that's when his deal ends.
Okay. All
Maybe
right.
he was on a Legends or a licensing agreement, or that's when it was ending, because we got Goldberg action figures while he was away, even though I know he was a free agent. I think up until he came back and did the angle with his son and Gunther, that thing in the ring where they had the promo to plant the seed, I believe up until that point, Goldberg was a free agent. Having said that, maybe they had him on a licensing agreement. They were paying him per diem. Maybe it's more that's when his deal ends.
Well, if I was Tony Khan, I'll wait the 2 weeks. Give him a phone call. Hey, Bill, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Now, if you're Bill Goldberg, are you too vulnerable to take that phone call?
When you say vulnerable, break that down a little bit for me.
All right, so let's cut the BS. Goldberg is upset. He feels offended. He feels disrespected by how WWE played out his final moments. And it's fresh. It's an open wound. He is salty. He's saying he isn't, but he's expressing huge bitterness. Are you in a position to say, with a clear mind, yeah, you know what? You know, fucking WWE, they screwed me over. It wasn't anything they said. Yeah, I'll do it. Or, you know what? I think I should just kind of sit this one out. You know, are you clear-headed enough to take that phone call?
So, from listening to Goldberg talk on the Ariel Helwani interview, I feel that he's a guy that says that he comes off as a guy that's not emotional, but he's very emotional.
Oh, he's very emotional. Yeah, I go with that too.
He's a human being. We're all emotions. We're just emotions in a bag of skin. That's all we are. And I think that he should take the call. You know what? Everything is. I always say, you know, when somebody says, "Oh, I want to buy that," they say, "No, it's not for sale." Even though it's not for sale, if somebody called me right now and said, "Hey, I want to give you and Cheyenne the opportunity to bring the Tristan Law Show to ESPN or wherever, Tubi, whatever," it might not be something that I'm not interested. No, I'm kidding. I'm interested in that. Cheyenne, we're going to hit it big. We're going to hit it big.
Hopefully.
But even if I'm not interested, I'm still going to listen to the phone call.
Okay.
Because I'm not an idiot. You know, I'm like, you know what? I'm not interested, but let me hear what they have to say. What if they say, you know, we'll pay you $10 million and, you know, we'll pay you $10 million. You know, we'll fly you and Cheyenne out on a private jet to Abu Dhabi every single week to go ahead and do that. And I'm like, every single week, Abu Dhabi, huh? Never been. I'm like, Cheyenne, what do you think? I'm like, you know what? At that point, I need to call a lawyer. Like, send me the contract. Send me the contract. Let me see what I can do. So if I was Goldberg, I would take a look at just, you know what? Draw up the papers. Send me the papers. Let me just look at them. There's no rush. There's no rush on his point because he's already done it already. He's retired twice. What I think they should do.
Remember, he never formally said that the match against Drew McIntyre or Roman were his final matches. He said he was slated to have a formal retirement, a formal final match while Vince was still in office, and then all that fell at the waysides. He never declared those matches as his final matches. He said that was the plan following McIntyre. Was the McIntyre match the match that he wore the shorts, right?
Might have been. Universal would be the
and it was a Thunderdome match.
It might have been. He said Elimination 2002 was when he wrestled Roman Reigns, but it might have been. I know he got called for COVID. He was sick and he had 3 weeks to train. Then he worked Roman at Saudi to make up for WrestleMania, right? Right. That was the match that was supposed to happen. That didn't happen. That's correct.
So under Vince's administration, Bill and Vince were going to have a formal retirement match, build, what have you, following the Roman match. Vince scandal happens. Triple H, TKO, whatever, they take over. Nobody calls Goldberg. This is what we get. And I think it sucks because say what you will about the complaints, about the match, about this, about that. Should it have been a PLE? Yes. It should have been a PLE.
I'll tell you why it shouldn't have been, but go ahead.
But the presentation of Bill, prime time, not just wrestling fans, everybody in America, Atlanta, the build, the package, the nuances, the nods to prior things in his career, it was all there.
I'll tell you why it shouldn't have been a PLE. You're going to hate me for this.
Sure.
Let me make sure the camera's on my face for this.
Oh, wow. Serious now.
The reason why it shouldn't have been a WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam at Bill Goldberg is because he didn't negotiate it. When they said to him, hey, you're going to come back, you know, in July, Saturday night's main event. We got a Saturday night's main event in Atlanta. Let's do it. So he had two opportunities. Either be a mark for himself and say that I can do it in front of my hometown in Atlanta, or what he could do is just forget doing in Atlanta and do it at a PLE where he could still bring in 100 of his own friends and family, including his accountant.
Was his accountant going to be part of the match? I'm not getting the accountant.
I don't know. When he kept talking about it, he kept saying, you know what? I brought my accountant and one of the writers from NCIS. You know what, Bill Goldberg? That's fucking for you. While we're at it, Cheyenne, you want to name drop anybody famous that you know? We could take turns name dropping people. You know what? Okay, you know, in my retirement speech, I want to bring my barber. You know, I brought 100 people, including my barber, not the one I got now. That guy's trash.
You know, I'm starting to think that you have it out for Bill Goldberg.
I don't like the fact that Bill Goldberg had this massive opportunity. He had this stellar match. He might not have been able to go out the way that he wanted to, fully. But he got to be put in the main event against the world champion, got to walk out there. You're next. And then walk back to the back. And everybody's like, oh my God, Gunther's next. You got all of that. I get if they had put you against, I don't know, Taka Michinoku. I don't know, I'm just naming wrestlers.
Taka Michinoku, that's not even a realistic pick.
Okay, fine. Maybe they put him against, Mark Henry and Mae Young's son.
That's not even a realistic pick.
How's that realistic? Oh, because what? Because the hand doesn't train?
We haven't seen the hand since Raw 1000.
Either way. I don't have it out for him. I just feel that somebody like Bret Hart, it's just like, you injured the guy. You had the opportunity to go out twice. You complain about it. You compare yourself, well, they wouldn't do it to Taker or Cena. Taker and Cena, they're not a mark for themselves. Bill Goldberg, you actually expected WWE to take their PLE, their whole entire touring schedule, and move just for you, and move it to Atlanta? Is that what he expected?
I think so.
Well, Cheyenne, I think that we've beat this to death together.
Well, I want to point out that Universal makes a statement along the lines of, Cheyenne is correct, Bill is not on a Legends contract. He's on a licensing contract, and was on a performance contract for his appearances and match versus Gunther. That makes sense to me because it sounds like it was something set up for this particular angle, because contracts are not in the sense of standard 1 year, 3 year, 5 years, 7 years anymore. They're extremely tailored now. And again, there's a lot of licensing in Goldberg. I'm sure he sold a ton of merch during this tour. Say what you will. I am of the, do I feel like it could have been handled better from a production standpoint? Absolutely. Do I think Goldberg should have gotten treated better? No, I think he was treated fine until the day of, if that makes any sense. Why WWE hasn't put up his full retirement speech on their socials, I don't know. Why the match in like a director's cut, kind of like what they did when Edge came back and all they did was show the fans, but they didn't show the actual ring action. I think that's something that should be explored and put on YouTube, but some of his comments were harsh overall.
Goldberg got 3 shirts at WWEshop.com. Goldberg's Last Ride. No, he has more, but the ones that are related to his retirement, he has one that says Goldberg's Last Ride. Got him there from like 1998 with the WCW Championship behind him. That that is Goldberg's that is really his only accolade.
That's the one I'm going to get you.
Don't get me that. Don't get me that, because I will find a new friend.
I'm gonna get that for you.
I will find a new friend. I swear to God, I will find a new friend. I'm going to replace you with Universal. I'll let you stay in the chat. I'll let you stay in the chat, and I'll bring Universal on.
Wow.
There's but I want Universal to sit there in the dark with just a light where you can't really see Universal's face, just to keep the shroud, because you never know. It could be somebody from WWE. It could be somebody from TNA. It could be somebody from AEW. It could be a fan. It could be Bill Goldberg's accountant. You don't know who it is.
I'll get it for the two of you then.
But Goldberg made money. You know, you can buy the Saturday Night's Main Event poster for $29.99 with his autograph on there. Like, who wants that? Who wants that?
Oh, I'm sure there's tons of collectors who do.
You want it? Because I know you collect.
No, there's tons of collectors who do. I don't have any space, as you can see.
Like.
I'll get that for you. You can have that as the background for your studio there instead of that bland. Yeah.
It's not bland. It's a backdrop. All right. So overall, do you feel bad for Goldberg? Last comment. Make it good. Kinda. Elaborate.
He got a build. He got it in his hometown. He got to face the best bad guy the company has to offer. I don't think it could have been, because why should it have been this long 6-month, 3-month build? You knew it was going to happen. I really just got to blame this on some production misfires. That's all.
I don't feel bad for Bill Goldberg. I don't feel bad for Bill Goldberg because Bill Goldberg, he got what he negotiated. I don't feel bad for Bill Goldberg.
Universal just made. I'm sorry to cut you off. Universal says Bill wanted to be a pay-per-view, PLE match, but then they sat down, picked a date, July 7th, and place, Atlanta. They told Bill it would not be on a pay-per-view. Bill agreed to do it. Again, he cannot complain later. So if this is all
true,
if Bill was all in on this being network television, he can't complain. I agree.
Look, in order for Bill Goldberg to agree to it, what did he have to do?
Talk it over?
He had to take the pen and he had to write his name. He had to write William B. Goldberg. The B's for baby. The B's for bitchin'.
Wow.
That's what it is.
Wow.
William B. Goldberg. He wrote his name on the piece of paper, and because he wrote his name on the piece of paper, he agreed to it, and that's what he got. And that's why I don't feel bad for Goldberg, right?
Wow.
You got the opportunity. He said he was doing this for his son. He wants to write the storybook for his son. You know, at the end of the day, why bitch? Because your son got to see you retire, not once but twice. Your son got to have the opportunity to walk out with you in your last match. Your son got the opportunity to be a part of your last match. This is something that can be called back years down the line. Years down the line. Your son versus Gunther's son. Might go to jail for beating up kids. You never know. You never know. But he had the opportunity. Universal says that the full speech is on WWE's YouTube channel. I'm going to look it up. I want to hear
check that out now, actually.
I want to hear what he had to say versus the Hall of Fame speech. But in all honesty, I don't feel bad for Goldberg. Goldberg, if you want to do it again, go to AEW. They are most likely willing to negotiate with you and give you the money that you want and do it the way that you want.
It went up 6 days ago, so that's about maybe late Tuesday, and it's got over 1 million views. That's incredible. And I think that is just a huge testament to the impact Goldberg had on the show.
Look, I said before, right? I was not excited for Bill Goldberg. Not at all. Not at all. On a scale of 1 to 10, I was not excited. But the way that
-5.
-5, yes. But the way that they told the story, and got me invested into the match, it made me feel like, you know what, this is what I wanted to get, what I want to watch. When I watched the match, I was pleased with the match. One point that I want to make as well, too, that it might have got 1 million views on YouTube, that one thing, but Ariel Helwani got 134,000 views off of the Bill Goldberg interview. If Goldberg didn't say anything, I want to say, let's say even 25% of those people, half of the people that watched the Ariel Helwani interview, watched the Goldberg interview, I think he tarnished his career. I don't feel bad for Goldberg. I want Goldberg to go away. Cheyenne, tell the people where they can find you.
Well, they can find me at linktree.com/Cheyenne the Voice. They can find me at youtube.com/Cheyenne the Voice. You can find me on Instagram, Cheyenne the Voice. And of course, you can check me out on Facebook, my Facebook fan page, Cheyenne the Voice. And you can catch me on all other forms of social media with Cheyenne the Voice. And I will be appearing at BCW, Recombination Wrestling, Queen of the North, at the Mecca, Ridgefield Park, July 31st. And then Friday, August the 8th, for American Championship Entertainment, Anarchy, when Darius Carter and Anthony Gangone join forces to take on Dan Moff and Sean Donovan for the Ace Tag Team titles in your main event.
Look, people, support your indie wrestling. Support your indie wrestling. These are the people that you don't have to worry about going on Ariel Helwani's show to complain that they didn't get what they deserved.
Well, I will not complain, but I will say also you catch me out at prowrestlingtees.com/SheyenTheVoice for all your Cheyenne Ortiz t-shirts.
And that's available in your link tree, right?
That's right.
I set up a link tree because of you. So if you're looking for my link tree, it's in the description of the episode.
Platform. Fantastic platform.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You can find the newsletter there that is free. You can get the number to call the promo hotline directly. You want to talk about Goldberg? Call the promo hotline. You're more than welcome to do that. You could also find my merch store. You can buy my t-shirts and stuff like that. Hey, you know what? Why listen to me when you can have me on your body as a t-shirt?
Universal, however, makes a key point. First of all, he says, don't be a bully, Tristan. Cheyenne is all right. Number two, unfortunately, this Saturday night's main event was the lowest of all four they have done since the relaunch. This was to boost the rating, and unfortunately, it backfired and was the lowest Saturday night's main event of all time thus far.
And I think this Saturday night's main event was better than the last one. Maybe they soured everybody with the last one, with the one before, where they had all the matches and all the matches felt short. It felt like just a rushed Monday Night Raw.
Well, the card on this was really, really good also.
I agree.
So I find that I agree with that because this card was good. It gave you some perceptions of who was or wasn't going to win, plus the Goldberg retirement. So that's unfortunate. I believe Saturday night's main event is slated for 3 years, so we're still going to get 4 a year for another 2 years.
Right, we're supposed to get another one in December.
Yes. It's still. I think it's 4 a year for 3 years, so we still got 2 to go.
Unless Goldberg has them move that one to Atlanta and turn into a PLE just for him.
I gotta go get my credit card and get you that Goldberg stuff.
I had to do it. Well, that was Bitchin' Bill Goldberg. He got his flowers and then he set them on fire. I'm Tristan Law. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back on either Monday or Tuesday with Felicia from the Storyline Podcast, and we are going to be talking about the current state of pro wrestling. What does pro wrestling look like from her eyes as a fan? You gotta tune in to find out. I'm Tristan Law. He is Cheyenne Ortiz. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you next time.
Flashing red lights, driving it.